Enemy spotted.
I got this.
Yeah, that's what you get. Got his ass. Yeah. Yeah.
We've been trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty for quite some time now.
Okay, so before making this video, I wanted to play the class first to actually get a good grasp on it before I spread some misinfo, like I always do. This includes running solo bosses, running BAs, which I've also done for the scouter team, shit, I even done culvert, and just in general screw around with it. But unfortunately I ran into a small issue, just a tiny issue. They reset my fucking keybinds completely. So after setting it up ASAP, I went straight for my storage to get some solar for my ascent. They disabled storage. Anyways, after getting my ascent to level 28, you probably already know where I'm going with this.
Ooh, what does this button do? Please, please, do not push the button. You have no idea what it...
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
You know we had to do it to it. Here's a quick before and after. Wow, amazing! I also cut down my extra timer by 3 minutes in a real run. Here's my before and after for hard calling solo. Somewhere in between my bossing, I ran a couple of quick BAs. Before the revamp, I managed to do 1.2Q. After the revamp, I did 1.34Q, which then I thought to myself, wait, that's kinda low. TMS guys promised me 30 to 40 FD increase, so what's going on? Apparently, we got the same bug that TMS had on day 1, where the Genesis weapons did not give them their iframes and their passive FD. On top of that, we also got the nerfed JMS version of this class. Inquel please. But because almost all of our damage comes from the summons alone, and the summons damage uptime is basically 100%, you end up in a situation where you deal as much damage as you would on a dummy, even if the boss dashes around or even teleports sometimes. Basically, the moment you're in a boss fight,
まとめてかかってきなよ。
150年ほど経ちましてあらめちゃくちゃじゃない
yeah. Anyways, one day later, we had a maintenance that fixed the Jenny bug, the storage bug, and some other stuff. But then people found out they cannot Destiny Lib anymore. Inquel, please! Regardless, I went for an XBM solo, which before the revamp I managed to do a 26-minute run. While after the revamp, well... Fuck you, Black Mage Shield, fuck you. Also, don't ask how fast Tesu did it. This class is totally fine, I promise.
Just take the next right. My house is back that way, Mr. K.
Far out, little man. Far out.
Okay, so what actually changed? First, there is a shorter teleport delay now, which should have come with the balance patch, but I guess we got it first before the balance patch because Lamau Inquil. The new up jump now goes up straight, however you cannot keybind it as it was before the revamp, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now as for the mobbing, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have level 30 Soul Janus, so I haven't really bothered learning mobbing, but while they do seem to put out some work, I think overall this is a bit of a downgrade in that regard. Although I heard Soul Janus Dusk works well, but I think that's mostly down to personal preference, so take that as you will. In bossing, the boss clarity is much better than it was before, because look at this fucking thing.
But I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
You can also raise up the hers now. I see you, Fabio, I see you.
Would I have been in it?
How do you want to be in it?
I don't know, just show my Ring of Restraint 6.
Overall, it's absurdly stronger, damage output is much more RNG reliant than it was before, and all of your damage is super condensed, while outside of burst, you deal wet noodle damage. Okay, so I've been asked tons of questions about the class by many people, so I'll just use this video as an opportunity to clarify what you need to know if you're interested in playing this class. First and foremost, there is no weaving, and having filter key set up is not a must, but still recommended. This class also has no support whatsoever. Despite having a gauge, this class is actually very simple to play, because this gauge is purely for indicators and summon durations, and requires no management. So obviously you have 3 summons. You've got Oni, you've got Tengu, and you've got Orochi. The summon duration and cooldown for each one is as shown on screen. This means that Oni is basically full uptime, Tengu is used during the mini bursts and the full bursts, while Orochi is solely used for bursts. However, more on their duration a bit later. Now you can see that after summoning each Ikigami, their bars light up and shows the remaining duration visually. Next up, while Kanna's hyper buff is active, the icons for each Ikigami glows and there's some extra effect at the bottom of the gauge. Another thing would be freezing the summon's duration while the Haku 5th job skill is active. Since Haku's duration is 15 seconds, you are able to effectively add 15 seconds to the duration of all your summons. This means that during bursts, the summon duration for each Shikigami changes like so. Lastly, while the summons hit a target, you will see one of the Shikigami icons light up. This is tied to the resonance mechanic that you get from the Shikigami Master skill from 4th job. This concludes what you need to know about the gauge and neatly segues to the core mechanic of Kanna, which is the resonance procs, aka skips, aka whatever people want to call it. Basically, Oni procs Tengu, Tengu procs Orochi, and Orochi procs Oni. Capiche? Capiche. This mechanic allows your summons to call upon each other regardless of the skill cooldowns and summon status. For example, only Oni is currently summoned, but procs Tengu's resonance, allowing Tengu's attack to be cast despite not being summoned. An important thing to note is, each resonance proc lasts for 2 seconds, and the procs can stack up to 2 at a time per summon. And whenever a summon resonates, your screen borders will flash, your gauge will display a flashing icon for the corresponding summon, and the available skills will flash on the hotkeys. Now, which skills do you want to use on Kanna? What does the buff sequence look like? And how do you burst on this thing? First, you've got your basic attack, the hard reg debuff, and 4 order skills. 2 for Oni, 1 for Tengu, and 1 for Orochi. These are the skills you will be spamming throughout the fight. Then you've got your 5th job skills, which are the Temu Bamba Blast, Tengu's Black Winged Destruction, Orochi's Soul Searing Venom, and some 5th job buffs. Oh, also, the burst is not backloaded anymore, so that's actually a pretty big dub. Second, for the buff sequence, you would want it set up like so. The order here matters a lot actually, and putting things in the wrong order may result in a noticeable damage loss. I'll spare you the details as to why exactly, so just make sure your sequence is similar to this. Now you can use this sequence for both your full and mini bursts, but if you still wish for a dedicated mini burst sequence, it will look like so. This obviously comes down to personal preference, but this is the mini burst. Lastly, how you go about bursting goes like so. Start with the hard reg debuff, burst sequence plus bind, Orochi 5th job plus Tengu 5th job, then use all your order skills. You want to prioritize the ones that are resonating first, as they are temporary and you want to emphasize on those procs. And whenever Oni resonates, make sure to use Pulverize and not Wheel Strike. To finish up, for all 4 users, unfortunately your Haku beam will have to drop outside of your roll, as the summon extension Haku provides is more valuable than its finisher damage. So when the bind is about to expire, you pop your origin skill, and right after that you press your Haku skill. And that concludes how you burst. Going forward, you simply press your order skills off cooldown until Oni and Tengu come off cooldown. After which, you use your burst sequence or mini burst sequence, depending on how you set it up, and continue with the order skills usage. By now, you probably realize that this is a roll/weapon jump class. The ideal inner ability you want is passive skills +1, boss, and abnormal damage. This may be subject to change depending on future changes, so keep that in mind. As for the hat potential, you can either go -2 CD and 2 lines of stat, or just regular 3 lines of stat. Both will work just fine, and it really just comes down to personal preference. And that's it. Hopefully by now you have the fundamentals to play the new Kanna. If you got any questions, you can ask me or the people in the Kanna Discord. There's plenty info about common questions in there, so it might be worth checking out. As for culvert, right now there is no real set in stone rotation, there's quite the amount of variables, and people are still figuring things out. So I'll leave that to the actual smart people to probably make a guide for, and just leave you with this.